Welcome to Hell. Let's begin with a brief introduction. Dante Alighieri, born in approximately 1265 and passing away in 1321, was an Italian poet, writer, and philosopher who played a pivotal role in shaping Italian literature. He is celebrated as one of Italy's foremost literary figures and stands as a revered icon in the world of Western literature. Dante's vivid portrayals of hell, purgatory, and heaven have not only left an indelible mark on literature, but have also served as a wellspring of inspiration for a wide range of Western artistic and literary creations. Dante's Inferno is the first part of the 14th century epic poem Divine Comedy, which was started in 1308 and finished in 1321. The Inferno describes Dante's journey through hell, guided by the ancient Roman poet Virgil. In the poem, hell is depicted as 9 concentric circles of torment located within the earth. They represent a gradual increase in wickedness and culminating at the center of the earth, where Satan is held in bondage. As an allegory, the Divine Comedy represents the journey of the soul toward God, with the Inferno describing the recognition and rejection of sin. Before your journey through the 9 circles of hell can begin, you must cross the river Acheron, which separate the worlds of the living and the dead. The ferryman of Hades, Charon, is in charge of the only ferry. I do hope he lets you pass. Welcome to the first circle of hell, Limbo. As you look around, you may think that this doesn't really look like hell, and I would agree. This first circle doesn't share much of the wickedness of the others. This place consists of a great green meadow. This is a place for virtuous non-Christians and unbaptized individuals who lived before the advent of Christianity. This includes notable figures from history and mythology, such as Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Homer, and other great philosophers, poets, and thinkers. In Dante's worldview, they are not condemned to suffer in hell, but they do not have the hope of salvation either. These guiltless damned are punished by living in a deficient form of heaven. Their punishment is a form of eternal sadness and longing. They are aware of the fact that they are excluded from God's presence in heaven, which is a source of sorrow for them. Dante's encounter with the souls in Limbo serves as an introduction to the structure of hell and the concept of divine justice. It highlights the idea that salvation is only possible through Christianity, and even the most virtuous and brilliant minds of the past could not attain salvation without Christ. Welcome to the second circle of hell, lust. This is where the punishments of hell proper begin. But before we can enter, we have to pass Minos, son of Zeus and Europa, who judges all of those condemned for active, deliberately willed sin to one of the lower circles. At this point in Inferno, every soul is required to confess all of their sins to Minos. after which Minos sentences each soul to its torment by wrapping his tail around himself a number of times, corresponding to the circle of hell to which the soul must go. The role of Minos here is a combination of his classical role as condemner and unjust judge of the underworld and the role of interrogator and confessor of the underworld. In the second circle of hell are those overcome by lust. They are condemned for allowing their appetites to sway their reason. These include adulterers, fornicators, and individuals who allowed their passions to overpower reason and moral restraint. The punishment in the second circle involves being eternally buffeted and swept away by the fierce winds. The souls are never at rest and are condemned to an unceasing state of turmoil. Their punishment reflects the idea that their earthly desires, which were driven by lust and lacked moderation, have led to their perpetual unrest in the afterlife. Since lust involves mutual indulgence and is not, therefore, completely self-centered, Dante deems it the least heinous of the sins, and its punishment is the most benign within hell proper. In this circle, Dante sees, among other notable figures, Cleopatra, Helen of Troy, Achilles, and many others who were overcome by sexual love during their life. Dante's journey through the second circle serves as an early example of the principle of divine justice in the Divine Comedy. It illustrates how each punishment in hell corresponds to the sin committed in life. It also foreshadows the increasing severity of the punishments in the deeper circles of hell. Welcome to the third circle of hell, Gluttony. This third circle is described as a dark and cold place, with incessantly pouring icy rains and dirty, foul-smelling slush. The punishment for the gluttonous in this circle involves the ceaseless, unrelenting rain and sleet. They are forced to lie in the icy slush. All the while Cerberus, a monstrous three-headed dog from Greek mythology, stands guard over them, tearing their bodies as they writhe in the muck. The torment symbolizes how their insatiable appetites in life have left them in a state of constant discomfort and misery in the afterlife. Just as lust has revealed its true nature in the winds of the previous circle, here the slush reveals the true nature of sensuality, which includes not only overindulgence in food and drink, but also other kinds of addiction. The souls in the third circle are those who, during their earthly lives, were consumed by excessive and uncontrolled indulgence in food and drink, leading to gluttony. They are depicted as lying in the filthy mire, and their bodies are emaciated and contorted. Thank you so much for watching this first part in our exploration of the 9 circles of hell. So if you enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on to not miss any future episodes. If you want to support what I do, please consider joining my Patreon. I greatly appreciate any and all support.